Hello world, hello boys and girls, shine your light bright like diamonds and pearls. You could be anything in this world. Weight on your shoulder, let that pressure like a curl. 1, 2, hello world. They got, none know my name. They got, none know my name. They got, none know my name. This the come up, now watch the world. Determination fuels belief is manifest.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to another official episode of The Come Up. Oh my God, the show where I bring on people who are up and coming in whatever field they are in. And we just talk about whatever comes to mind. But today episode, first of all, you remember this lovely lady in the middle right here, Body by Des. I had to bring her back because she's like, look, you got to interview my home girl. She's top bitch right now. She's number one out there. Okay, this girl does so many different businesses. We're going to get into that. But what I'm going to tell you right now is you boss up when you come meet the boss. That's all I'm going to say now, right? Give a round of applause for my homegirl, Amber, in the building.
Thank you.
Oh, my God. Well, first of all, thank you. And thank you for letting us come into your home. I mean, this is low-key intimidating. I ain't going to lie. Any man you date right now is just like, I better be on that kind of damn level. Like,
yep.
This is on. I'm gonna try to explain this to y'all. What I'm looking at right now. Okay, I'm not gonna say where, but we know we in Long Beach. That's all I'm gonna say. In a nice little penthouse apartment overlooking the ocean. That's what I'm saying. Like this is wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I feel
Beautiful.
like I made it. No, but I didn't yet. We're not there yet though. But it's a lot of hard work to do what you do. And I know Des was explaining to me some of the things that you do. And I want to say, damn girl, you're doing big things. And you are boss number one. And so how this whole thing came to start it was Des was like, yo, Body by Des is doing great. I know it's doing great. Like I said, I'm a fanboy. I'll be seeing all the stories and be like, oh my God, challenge 30-day challenge. We're about to start this. And it's always in the car. So I'm like, if you don't look at where you driving at, brother, killing me, Smalls, killing me. So correct me if I'm wrong. So did you meet with her through Body by Des?
I did, yes.
Okay, so explain that journey, how you guys met and how you come to look like some ace ones right now. That's what I'm saying right now.
Well, I've been pursuing fitness since 2008, and I'm originally from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay, Sin City.
But moved out here 12 years ago to California, and I have been so incredibly fortunate to find amazing trainers and mentors in the fitness and nutrition industry.
Okay.
And because I'm a business strategist, I do study business models.
Got it.
So I consume a lot of content. And I do keep my radar open for up-and-coming talent. So, especially in the fitness industry, yes, it should come as no surprise to the group that Desi definitely caught my eye.
Okay.
So many things that were just a standout.
Okay.
She puts in the work. She is just excellent to a different level. She crosses T's, dots I's, etc. So even though she is gorgeous and phenomenal and looks the part, right, and definitely shows up for her branding, she also shows up for her clients at a high level. And that doesn't happen too often in the fitness industry.
Okay. See, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's what she's like, look. I love when women can be like, look, I'm gonna support my woman over here because she doing big things. And, so I know you mentioned that, the financial advising and all that good stuff. But I know that there's some other businesses you also do as well. Can you speak on some of these other businesses that you have? Because you got your hands on many cookie jars.
Yes, I do. And I'm fortunate to be able to do that now. Okay. So let's rewind 22 years ago.
Okay.
There I was minding my own business as a juvenile probation officer.
Oh, my dad was probation officer. That's crazy. Kilpatrick.
And, I got that good county job, right, with the raises and the great benefits and what have you. And I was given an opportunity to take over a family business, which I wanted absolutely nothing to do with. It was children's dance competitions. And nothing against children's dance competitions, okay? So I don't teach dance. I'm a promoter of dance competitions. But it was a business that my mother and father had started, and I watched them struggle in the very early years. Hence the reason I was not interested. However, my mother needed double hip surgery. So her husband, my stepfather, came down to the jail, and I was a single mother, age 24. And I did not have a degree yet. I was still pursuing my bachelor's at the time, right? And he said, Amber, I was thinking, you're doing fine in your career, and it's what you've always wanted because it's secure. But we have this amazing opportunity behind door number one is this dance competition, which is about $600,000 in debt. And you know nothing of the business at all.
Time out. Did you say $600,000
in debt.
In debt.
And this was in 2002.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
So he said, so I was thinking this could be an amazing opportunity to see what you're made of.
Challenge accepted.
I feel like he was trying to pawn you off or something. He was like, look, you guys, we going to say this is a golden opportunity, but really, we got her.
This is real talk. So if you say yes, you're not going to make the salary that you're making, of course. So you're going to get a pay cut.
Yeah.
You're no longer going to have that great county insurance for yourself and your son. However, if you figure out the business and figure out how to make it successful, the world is your oyster.
Okay. My question is, obviously, you knew this was going on. Like, you knew the business was not going in the greatest fashion.
Correct.
So my question to you is, what did you like off the bat know, like, okay, this is exactly why these guys are messing up? Like when you first, so you did. So you had an idea, like, look. So that's probably why you was more apt to say, okay.
I was.
Okay.
I knew that a few things could be tweaked. I saw where, the holes in the boat were, right? I also quickly, like I was just saying, started studying the individuals in the industry that were excelling and reverse engineered it and saw how they were positioning themselves and then figured out how I could potentially position myself. The other thing that I discovered quickly is just keep the overhead low, right? And just really like grassroots marketing and elevate the value. So literally taking.
So I'm sorry, you said grassroots marketing. Now, some people might not know what that means. Okay. Can you just briefly say, what is grassroots marketing? Because some people out there are like, okay, what is that? She's saying all these big words. I don't know.
Well, what's interesting is when I took over the competition, so back in the day, this is pre-internet. So I'm an entrepreneur before internet.
Wow.
Okay, so that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
Okay. And please note, I'm producing events across the nation. So I have 18 events across the nation. So it's not as if I can do flyers, knock on people's door, any radio ads or anything like that. So we had one magazine, a dance magazine for the industry for dance studio owners. Okay. And it was quite expensive. Like back in the day, it was like $7,000 for a one-page ad.
Wow. Oh, that's a lot for one page.
Right.
Damn. Okay.
And then, the circulation and who's going to read it. And then even if they do read it, like, you put your dates on, like it's a tour, you get me? But this is even like before like functional websites. This is before people being able to pay with a credit card virtually. Yeah. We're still faxing at this point. You get me?
Yeah. So
how do you stand out? It was interesting. It was a lot of work and it was quite difficult.
Okay.
And it was getting on the phone. And sometimes getting in front of their faces in person.
So you was cold calling for the most part.
Cold calling.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys probably heard her back in the day, and you was like, "No, I'm sorry, I don't want to feed the kids. I don't know. Like, I don't know what you was doing." People just automatically assume that's what it's about, But okay, so you were cold calling and you knew what was going on. So when did you actually start seeing a profit from that business?
Well, what was amazing is immediately once I took over the business, I was able to retire my mother. Again, remember her needing double hip surgery.
Yeah.
Okay. And the thing that I'm really, really most proud about is we did keep overhead low, and I did work for not much for many years. Okay. And so I traded what could have been profit distributions. I continued to acquire shares in the company. Okay. So that strategy ended up helping me out 10 years later. But immediately within year one, my mother, we put her on salary. She was making 6 figures in year one.
Ooh.
Within 4 years, I was able to pay off all the debt. And so there were 3 mortgages on her house. And then she owed her best friend a substantial amount of money. Okay. So we were able to pay that loan back as well. Wow. And then when things were rocking and rolling, that's when I could start taking my 6 figures.
Oh my God. You don't hear many people talking about, I'm taking my 6 figures.
Yeah.
but the thing that I want to reiterate is the fact that you had to do this for a while with not getting that much money.
That's correct.
It's really because you had the foresight to see what you wanted the company to be like.
Too.
And I feel like sometimes, don't you feel like that's not even half a struggle? Because I know with yourself, you were saying to, like last time we did our podcast, you were just like, I had to do this in the back of my house for so long before I can even get my own place. But you saw what you needed to see.
Yeah, well, the thing that I think, and there's so many things that I admire so much about Amber, but one of the things that really sticks out about her that you just don't really see anymore is people's drive and discipline. They say that they're going to do something and they fulfill that responsibility or obligation. Regardless if it means I take a pay cut, I said I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it. And if that means I have to sacrifice, that's okay because I stand by my word. And you just don't hear that anymore. People want everything fast and quick and immediately. They don't put the work in. They don't realize that things take time and effort. And that's just something that you can't, it's priceless. It's invaluable.
So you guys both probably didn't even have a social life or anything because you had kids.
The integrity of what that means to be that kind of person is just, that's why she's had the success she's had. And people look at people like Amber and say, oh, you're lucky. Oh, you're so lucky. There's no luck about being broke for years and years and years and years. So your mom could be retired and at peace. There's nothing lucky about that. Yeah.
It's just grinding. It's just grinding. It's exactly what it is.
It's really special. It's very special, and it's so rare to see.
Now I'm curious, and this is a question for both of you guys. Being that you guys are both ladies, and you guys are, I would say, in a more more you than other for the dance. I would say it's more female dominant for as far as who owns studios. Right?
Yeah.
Is it more male dominant?
Actually, as far as dance competitions go, gentleman owns dance competitions, or it's a husband and wife team.
Got it.
So it's definitely not single women, definitely not 24-year-old single women.
Did you come in?
Hot 24 single mom women.
That's what got the daddies in there though. Like, look, you can go to that dance class, girl. Yeah, go ahead. Your teacher gonna be there. But I guess, my thing is, I'm just saying, did you come to any type of backlash, or were they really open armed to you in the community?
As far as my clients, well, they were, and so here's another thing. How I positioned the organization is that so my clients are women. They're dance studio owners. Well, I grew up in a dance studio, so I saw what went on behind the scenes business of dance studios.
The needs.
So I was able to relate to them, right, and bridge any gaps they had, set them up for success. Because when they come to me, their parents, they're endorsing my event to their parents, their clients, right? So if they come to my event and we run late, or things just aren't up to par, the production is not good, or the scoring is awful, they're going to look at the dance studio owner and say, why did you bring us here? We spent a lot of money and with the whole weekend to be here. This was a terrible decision.
This competition is terrible.
Got you. And it's fine. I kind of know just a little bit about that, just a tad. Only reason because I know I had a friend who actually works for a dance company and travels with the dance company, does all the behind the scenes production stuff. And he's like, dude, I don't even have time to really sightsee. I'm just going from city to city and all this stuff. I
wonder if he works for one of.
He might. I forgot the name of the company, to tell you the truth, but he worked there for a while, and he left. He started his own DJ business, matter of fact, and then we actually have a mutual friend, Charles, who actually works for a dance company now
Oh,
too.
okay.
Exactly.
I
See,
did not know
yeah,
that.
he works for a dance
Yeah,
company.
I didn't know much about the industry either. Everything I know now, I've learned it from Amber, and it's interesting. It's a very interesting industry.
I didn't know nothing about it. There was like I don't know, it was a Netflix show. It was a Netflix, one of those shows.
Or Dance Moms, or
I never watched Dance Moms.
No?
I could never get into that.
Either.
Because it felt like,
It drove me crazy the way they treated the kids. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this.
because I'm like, well, I guess I don't know. I guess there's a lot of black people in the dance thing too. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe just
I'm
we
just
weren't
like,
exposed to it.
We weren't exposed to it. I just wasn't. I knew about the pageants though, but
Yeah.
but nobody knows about the dance stuff because I'm like, well, I don't dance. What kind of dance they doing, But okay, so you pretty much turned the business around. Now you're making your 6 figures. What was the next venture after? Like, look, because I feel like you're like, look, I can do more. So what happened next?
Yes. So my mom was a silent partner at that time, and I told her that I wanted to do more, and she really didn't like the direction I was going.
Oh, after you didn't pay for everything, she's like, but still, I don't know, really.
And I get it. And listen, and just real quick, I left home at age 15, 16.
Oh wow.
So I hadn't talked to my mother until her husband came and presented me with this once in a lifetime offer.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were very estranged.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
it's kind of a part of the story. So I get why perhaps she didn't see my vision, or maybe there were some trust issues, etc.
Lack of communication.
Yeah, the communication wasn't there. So I said, okay, well, I have to scale it because we're not at the point where our margins are where they need to be. So how much to buy you out? And she put her price tag on it, and I paid it.
That's a boss move right there. Look, you don't want to do that, I'm gonna pay your ass. Shut the fuck up.
Yep. That's what happened.
Oh my God. That reminds me of it. You guys ever seen the movie Last Holiday with Queen Latifah?
No.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's so funny. But basically, is a scene. I'm sorry, this is like a diversion, but it's a scene where she's on an airplane and then like this guy keeps on like leaning back into her seat, but she's in like economy. And, the guy calls the stewardess and was like, this lady behind me is giving me a problem. She won't let me put my seat down. And so there's this big scuffle on the plane. They're arguing. And she's like, you know what? Then the other flight attendant comes by. He said, well, if you bought one of our cocoons in first class, you wouldn't have this problem. And she was like, how much? How much for the damn cocoon? That's what she said. And then the cuts to a scene of her in there join first class. That's all I'm saying, because it's like a boss move. Like you just did like a boss move, but that was a risk too, because you didn't know exactly what was going to happen.
Oh yeah, it was a complete risk, and of course, as luck would have it, my personal life fell apart literally. The minute that I took on this, and so we decided on a price. It was fair market value. They gave me a 5-year payment plan. I paid it off in 2.
Oh wow! Yeah,
so,
pay it off.
and then we just keep going. Head down, go.
I know somebody out here looking like, how's she paying all this shit off this quick?
Saving.
That part.
So how did that work?
And so to that point, and so over the course of 20 years, finance and operations are my strong suit. Okay, and I was earning a lot of money before I finished school.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I was successful before I went back to get my official credentials.
Gotcha.
Okay, because this is exactly what I preach, and this is why I'm excited to do a collaboration with Desi, is that you can understand all the theory you want until you can put it into practice. And there's not a lot of opportunity to put it into practice, because oftentimes to put it into practice, you have to have skin in the game. People just don't have that. They like things that are more secure.
Yes.
Right. And so they're not going to bank on themselves. Now, obviously, there's a new culture where, entrepreneurship is sexy and all this, but back in, 20 years ago, that wasn't the case at all.
Gotcha.
And the thing that I've learned through all of this, and so, like you said, to that point, we were able to do things and we're able to make powerful moves by raising the top line. So you're able to make more money faster by obviously generating more sales. But if your back of house is a shit show, it doesn't matter how much money you're bringing in.
Yeah.
Right. So before you get started on anything, you have to know your break-even points. Right. You have to keep your overhead low. You know, like Des, I mean, I was operating this business in my mother's basement. You know, and we were 4 years in before I even got a warehouse. And I was stressed about getting a $1,200 a month warehouse. You know, and the company's doing 2.5 a year. And I don't want to spend $1,200 a month on a warehouse. You get me?
Yeah.
So I'm very thoughtful and conservative because I would rather put the money into growing the business.
You know what, man? I'm over here getting inspired again. Look at y'all, man. Because you know, I'm over here thinking to myself, like, these women right here are just making me look bad.
No.
Not making me look bad, but I'm just saying it definitely raises a point to, you know, it's about, we talk about grinding, and this is, you know, I told you guys I coach basketball, and my new theme this year for our girls, and not just my girls, but for myself, is embrace the grind. So it's just like, I said, look, we got to embrace the grind. We got to fall in love with the process.
Yes.
It's the process.
You got to fall in love with the process. If you don't like the process, then that's why it's not going to be successful.
And I love how you said that, falling in love with the process.
Yeah, you do. And
you do.
And it's one of those things where, you know, thinking about it is, you know, obviously, like, so my main thing is I want to coach. I want to coach at UCLA. You know, I told you guys that before. And I'm just like, but it's a process. Like, I don't get paid next to nothing coaching at the high school, but I'm there, you know, year round, and, you know, doing travel basketball. You know, you said one of your friends does the AAU, and, you know, trying to do that, trying to supplement income. But then it's like, when people don't know who you are, you kind of got to do some stuff for free and get people in. And it's like, okay, well, now am I worth it? Now it's like, and that's the other thing too, I actually want to bring up for both of you guys is you have friends that are like, you know, don't value, well, not say don't value. How do I say this? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like,
you were saying
always,
right.
always asking for like, oh, then can I get a discount? Can I get this going on?
Can I get a loan?
But I feel like a real friend, if they value your business, doesn't even need to ask you. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I don't need to ask. Like, if, you know, I have a buddy who is a lawyer, I get it, like, you know, ask him for some advice here and there, you know. But if I was actually like a problem where I had to hire him, like, what's your rate?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just let me know. That way, because I understand what you do and I value what you do, so I'm going to pay you what you're worth. And that's part of the problem I feel too with people is the fact that they don't, you know, discounts and all this stuff. And I know, Des, you probably had to do a lot with that. Where it's like, come on, girl, can you just hook me up? You know, can I just do a couple of dollars? It's like, you know, this is how I eat. Like, you know, so if you guys can speak on that, and if you got some personal stories.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like putting somebody on blast, I'll put them on blast for you. I don't care.
I think.
Damn it, Lena. Pay me my money. No, joking.
No.
I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
I think that we kind of live in a society where more than us than I would like just don't really recognize like boundaries and
preach on it, girl.
You know, don't really consider people or just aren't. They're not your. A lot of us are very inconsiderate, very selfish, and I don't think that it's intentional. I think for the most part, a lot of us that are that don't have boundaries and don't respect boundaries and that are selfish and that are inconsiderate, I think we literally just don't know any better. Like, I think that we're ignorant and we just weren't taught that those values matter, that those morals matter, and we just don't know them. Yeah. So it's been a struggle for me that I definitely I've come a long way with that battle for myself, because when I first started, I had a hard time valuing myself, and then in turn making clients, value me and pay me. Yeah. And respect my time. And it was very hard for a very long time where I was handing out discounts a lot, letting things slide. And I mean, a part of it was, learning the hard way, because it hurt, especially when it came from people that cared about you. It's like, you're supposed to be my friend and you want me to do my job for free. Like, I would never ask you to do your job for free.
At least give you the opportunity to say, let me,
I have a child, I have children, I have a home, so it got to the point where I was so hurt by it that I just learned to start putting my foot down and creating boundaries and respecting and valuing myself and my services and my time. And I mean, I'm very far from perfect, but I really try to value people and their time.
I want you to know when you did that, I'm not very perfect. Your eyes really fluttered real fast. I don't know if y'all saw that on camera. I'm not very perfect, and it was like her own eyes were just like, okay, go ahead, girl. My bad. I just noticed that. It's okay.
I've worked really hard on trying to make sure that I'm very considerate of people.
Yeah.
I just think it's just a bare minimum decent human decency to respect people.
But you brought up a good point that you got kids, and this is something you do for kids too.
I just, I kind of just started putting my foot down and saying, no, I don't offer that, but I can offer you this or that, trying to find a way to like mitigate around it. Yeah. And, still put my boundaries down, but at the same time, still be a salesperson, right? Yeah. I mean, I need to make the sale. Yeah. So, it's been trial and error. It's been a lot of self-work, a lot of therapy, a lot of reading, a lot of classes, just a lot of work, funny enough, and I'm sure I know Amber will attest to this. People see what's in front of them, right? So they see I'm a personal trainer and I look like I'm in shape. Mm-hmm. So I must just work out all the time, and that must be what I do. And it's like, for me to show up and be the personal trainer I am requires me to do so much work, and none of it has to do with working out. Mm-hmm. None of it. Mm-hmm. I mean, the mental, the emotional, the business part of it, I would say maybe 10% is working out. Maybe.
I'm going to contest it. Okay. All I know is, because you see that, because you guys both look good. You guys look great. You guys look gorgeous. And, somebody's going to say, like, damn, I work out all the time. And, I mean, I just know because you're heavily on Instagram. You're promoting yourself a lot, which is awesome, what you're supposed to do. But at the same time, I know you on a personal level where it's like when you go out, you have a good time, eat what you want, drink what you want, and just have a good time. And it's not like, I'm like, okay, so she, when you tell her, like, it's kind of hard for me to, promote you when we're out. And it's like, yeah, my girl, she does right here. She does personal training. She does. But she over here eating this peach cobbler. What the?
But she also burned 3,000 calories before she showed up for the evening.
That part right
there.
You
try doing that, okay? Because I try every day, and it's not as easy as it looks.
Well, one thing that's not easy as it looks, obviously, like I said, we mentioned that you had the kids, and we did it in the last podcast. Yeah. But Amber, do you have any kids?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so so you know something about sacrificing your time from your kids, and so I mean, was that a struggle too? Like trying to do your business and
absolutely. I mean, and now and you was just saying it, tears come up a little bit only because he's 21. Okay, he has children. So I have 2 grandchildren. So I get to see things obviously with a lot of wisdom and through multiple lenses. Yeah. Okay. So as I reflect on my younger self and the decisions that I made, and obviously on the one hand, super grateful, right? Because I did make some really great decisions, and we have a lot of financial stability, right? Which lends to a lot of great things at present.
Gotcha.
But it was a lot of sacrifice and no lie, from the time my son could understand, I would explain to him, because I had to work 7 days a week, 20 weeks out of the year. I had to travel a lot, et cetera, right? It was just a unique job because, like you probably heard from your friends, we work 40-hour weekends and then have to come back and still work, right? So I was exhausted. And I explained to him, I said, look, some mommies, and I mean, because he's 4, right? And I said, some mommies have to work 52 weeks out of the year. Your mommy works her ass off for 20 weeks out of the year, and you don't get to see mommy a lot, and I don't get to go to your games, and I'm falling asleep at your practices, et cetera. And I am so incredibly sorry for that, but it's going to pay off one day. And then so immediately I started teaching him about segmenting time, buckets of time, segmenting quarters and calendars, the year calendar. So he knew Q1 and Q2, mommy's not available, but Q3 and Q4, mommy's more available.
So I can take advantage of that. You know what's so funny when you're saying that? Only thing I think about, because today actually, you guys probably don't care, but it's okay. It's like WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania weekend. You know what I mean? And when you think about this, and I'm like these, and not even just wrestlers, but just any sports, whether it be men or women, on a professional level, they're gone for X amount of days. They're gone back to back, and they're always on the road or whatever. So that time, they they do the same thing. They're not with their kids that much. So what I'm saying is like, we don't think about like that. We don't think about those careers.
Yeah.
Your dance center, your physical, all your physical fitness and everything that you're doing is like being a professional athlete.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm busy like a professional athlete. You know what I mean?
Even as a business operator, I mean, you're self-employed. Like, I know nobody's gonna give you a sick day. No one's gonna give you a vacation. No one's gonna cover you if you call out. Like, nothing. Like, you got to figure that out.
Yeah.
And you're constantly working. Yeah. So even if you are home, you're still working. Your laptop is on. You're on the phone. And so I mean, and my son was so well trained. And that's it. He already knew what time it was. Yeah. And again, so that's why I say, as I reflect back, because knowing how much time, where even if I was physically present, perhaps I wasn't emotionally present.
Yeah.
Right? I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Was it all worth it?
Was it worth it? I don't have an answer to that question.
Did you spoil him though? Did you spoil your son?
I mean,
that's a yes. I mean,
well, it's the guilt. What you think is spoiled.
I mean, and the guilt,
I'm looking at what spoiled is right now.
Overcompensation. I mean, those are all real things. Yeah. But at the same time, like I said, he was 7 and he knew, about profit and loss statements, and he understood segmenting time and trading time for money and what profit margins were. So, I mean, he's a sharp, he is a me.
Do you think that they should be teaching that? I'm sorry to interrupt you like that, but do you think they should be teaching that kind of stuff in the school?
Yes.
The high school level?
Yes.
Because what's so funny is even in my elementary school, 5th grade, I had a teacher, Miss Monet. I don't know if she actually made you write checks. Yeah. Like she made you physically write checks.
When I graduated high school and I finally got a checking account because I was working and just cashing my check at the liquor store.
Yeah.
And I finally opened a checking account. Yeah. I didn't know how to fill out a check, and I was 18 and pregnant.
Yeah.
Why don't I know how to fill out a check, but I'm pregnant?
But
this is wrong.
You even know about George Washington and all. Because one of the girls I coach, she's a senior, and she's like, Coach, I need a job. So I helped her get a job. And he's like, I'm going to open my bank account up. I was like, okay, now she doesn't understand, like, okay, you open it with this bank. This bank's not everywhere like this. Okay, now you don't get a credit card. You do this. So, but there's just things like they don't teach like these. What happened to life lesson skill classes? Like they need to be like a life lesson skill class. And I'm sorry, I'm just going on a tangent. But definitely
I agree.
Because what you taught your son is something I wasn't taught. And like I'm trying to learn now. Like it's like, damn, like I'm really trying to learn that.
And I think that's most of us aren't taught those things, and that's why we've had a lot of conversations about this, which is why I know she's constantly having to explain all these different, just terms to people, because all of us, so many of us either weren't taught it or, so we just don't know. It's just lacking the knowledge.
Yeah. It's so funny. I tell people I want to know a little bit about everything.
Yeah.
I just want to know a little bit, just a little bit. I think the fact that I had a friend that knew a dance, I kind of knew what you were going through, but not like really. Just a little bit of something.
That makes you so much more valuable because you can walk into any room and be able to make connections with people.
Yeah.
And not only does that give you confidence and value, but it's attractive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hope so. She got me a girl, you know what I'm saying? But one thing that's attractive to me is this business you guys are going into and you guys are venturing into. And just by what you guys were talking about, it just sounds like something that a lot of people need to be involved with. So explain to me, what is the business that you guys are joining together to start to do?
Well, we're both powerhouses in our own areas of genius.
Gotcha.
But at the same time, we have a lot of skill sets that overlap, right? Because of our life and business experience, right? So we complement each other very well.
Yes.
I know I'm successful, but I know without what Desi brings to the table, I cannot do what I do, right? So I value that. Got it. And I've learned to value that over the years, at a high level. So I earmark time, I earmark a budget, okay? And it's literally a make or break for my overall success and wellness and happiness, okay? And then on the flip side is once you start to get into great shape, feeling great about yourself, valuing yourself, right? Your mind starts to open up. You see the world through a different lens. You want to take advantage of all these new and abundant opportunities.
Yeah.
And then that's where the step 1, step 2, step 3 come in, because oftentimes it's an individual who just doesn't have any background on what to do next.
Yes.
Right? How to monetize their new gifts, their new confidence. And so we're collaborating.
I think she wanted you to say something, Des. You want to go say
what's the collab? Collaborating, and it is going to be Women in Power 360. And the idea behind 360 is all around, right? I mean, all around well-balanced woman in every capacity. So a woman who knows how
But why just women?
It's a great question.
Why just women?
Because that's what we know. We don't know men.
Are you going to be open? Okay, now, before we get there, are you going to be open to, gender? What's it called? I don't even know the term.
I think that we both have a really strong passion for building each other up and other women. I think that's something that just means a lot to us. We can relate. And that's really the key that I think puts us aside as a collaboration, as a program. Me, what I do, what Amber does, is that our audience we can relate to, our clients we can relate to. And that's very special. When people feel that they can connect, they trust you. They're open and susceptible to you. So I think
360.
I'm sorry. I think that's why the women is such a priority for us. And
I get it.
And in our society, women have come a long way, but it's not far enough.
May I dovetail off that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so in my professional endeavors, in my consulting, most of my clients are men. Okay. Also, most of my mentors are men. And I do, have a lot of, hustle, masculine energy, right? And the messaging that you receive working in male-dominated industries, going to an MBA program with mostly men and so forth, and having male clients, etc. The conversations are different.
Yeah.
And I want the opportunity to bring that messaging and those conversations into the world of women.
I think what I was really trying to get at was like, how are you going to deal with like the transgender part of it? Like, what have you guys even thought about that part yet? Like, how are we going to deal with somebody that classified as
I haven't thought about it, but obviously everyone has a different opinion on the matter. I would see it this way: if someone comes to me and says, "I believe I'm a woman. I want to do this program because I believe myself to be a woman," then I would offer it to that person.
Okay,
that's the person. That's who that person identifies as. That's who that person's showing up as. And who am I to tell them what they are and aren't, right?
Yeah.
I think that's how I would handle a situation like that.
I love how the fact that you look at it like we in this together. Okay, good. Because that's what that's cool. That's good. That's good chemistry.
I think that's the most respectful manner to deal with something like that.
Yeah, that's all, man. Because
consideration,
like you said, men got all their stuff. They got everybody.
Yeah,
we got the rocks. Don't worry about it. We got the rocks. We good.
Well, actually, me and Des, we did make we did put it out into the universe.
We did kind of say that maybe
we said once we nail this,
then maybe we'll figure out how to go to men or couples or something else. So I mean, we're not saying no, we're just saying not yet.
Got it. So basically, what I'm getting at, the whole 360 is you're going to cover the fitness, the nutrition, the financial awareness, and all that stuff, and even help people with the business plans and all that good stuff. So you guys are just super women. Like, you guys are super women right now.
Yeah, we should take pictures with Kate.
Yeah.
Next photo op.
Next photo op.
You saw it here, guys. This is the new MCU Burniverse. We got the 360 women right here. That's
we put the logo on the cape.
There you go. There you go.
I'm here for it.
That's how you go. You got your own theme music now. You got
Yes.
It's the 360 Women Empowerment Show. I don't know how to say that, but maybe I can get a TikTok dance, the 360 Women Empowerment dance. But there's so many stuff that women, like, I really got to get, because like I said, I understand I'm a man that coaches young women. Mm-hmm. And I know that's difficult for me. And I know it's even difficult for sometimes the girls, because like, I can't really, I'm basketball knowledge, but I can't, you know, as a man, I cannot relate to them on that level. You know, so like I tell you, like our thing is that you tell me pineapples, that means I'm on my period. Don't leave me the fuck alone. That's what that means. So I say, okay, hey. So, but my girl's like, hey, coach, pineapples. All right, cool. I know. So I know it's just, it is difficult. And there's a lot of things out there for men. And there's not a lot of things for women. And I'm then more or less really trying to push for more women empowerment things, because like I said, like not enough women even watch, even women themselves don't watch enough women's sports. And, you know, that's something I'm trying to I want to drive at more, like watch girls college basketball, watch women's WNBA. You know, it's sad the fact that, you know, women in WNBA don't get as paid as much as the men do because of the advertisement situation. And, you know, because everybody's pretty much based off of advertising, you know, and I'm just like, this is sad, because it's almost like it's sad for them, because it's on the fact like only way they really get the money is like through being the Instagram basketball model, you know what I mean? So the sex part of it sells, and you know, I don't know. Just something I'm thinking, you know, you definitely need to touch on, you know.
Yeah, there's a need. There's absolutely a need for more empowerment of women and more mentorships and more, you know, resources for them to be empowered. For, you know, I know Amber can also attest to this. I mean, I am like 99% self-taught. Like I didn't know anything walking into my industry and my career. And every time I looked around, successful trainers that were killing it were men or women that looked like they were selling their bodies. I was like, I want to be a real trainer. Yeah. Like, I am tired of posing in my bikini. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. You know, I have more to bring, right? Exactly. But I mean, I didn't know how to do that. So I had to do this sexual thing on Instagram for a long time to get followers and to get attention before I could ever come into the person I wanted to be as a trainer. And
that's the problem with Instagram or Facebook
and social media and advertising, period. It's what people want to see, right? But I see all that to say, you know, had I been able to find maybe a program online that would have helped equip me with the tools I needed to build my business, you know, advertise for my business, market for my business, budget, figure out how to do my books years ago, you know, figure out how to take care of myself and my own emotional and mental needs so that I wouldn't have a breakdown because my business wasn't doing well this quarter. You know, had I had any of those resources, I think I would have been so much more successful sooner. But it's taken me so much longer because I had to do all this extra hard work and there was nobody to help me.
I'm going to stop you right there, though. I'm going to stop right there, and I hate to get like this on you right now, but I'm going to do it. Is, you know, I have to figure it out for myself, too. And that's why I'm going to tell you like this, because I'm being spoke through. I'm sorry to get there for you. He's told me to tell you, like, you know, he did it when you was ready. Because sometimes we're just not ready. You know what I mean? Like, right. you think you like, you know, there's certain times people get in a job, like, are you, and that's the main thing. Like, I had a comedian buddy of mine who was just like, I was like, man, I can't get that hosting job. I can't get that. He's like, well, because you ain't ready for it yet. Yeah. Like, are you ready? Like, right now, if you know, Netflix called you right now to host a show, can you do it? And I'm like, it's like, you ain't ready. And so, but so that the point I'm just saying is like, it took time to get where you was at.
I can appreciate that. And I also think that I also think I'm very hard on myself. I mean, I built a business in 5 years in my backyard. Yeah. So, that's boss. I don't think I did that bad, but that is boss. But you know, obviously we have higher expectations for ourselves. God, yeah. But yeah, I think that
you know what I'm curious to say right now is, you know, with this whole new, you know, Women Empowerment 360, right? If you could get any celebrity woman to endorse this, who in your mind is like, I get her to do this? Because I'm thinking somebody in my mind right now.
Who comes to your mind? I gotta tell you,
Who comes?
I might be reaching big, but Michelle Obama comes to mind. I mean,
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that.
That's
the first.
That would be an incredible honor.
That would be a great,
Yeah.
right?
An incredible honor.
I was just curious. It's like say
Yeah,
like, you know,
I mean, I know she's Michelle Obama. B, I loved. I mean, this is probably a little, I don't know, silly of me, but she made it a point to be really interested in like health and wellness for children, and I really thought that was great. That was part of her campaign and part of what she brought to the presidency and the country.
Yeah.
I thought that was really special. So I mean, for me, that hits me right, you know, or it hits me right on point. But yeah, I just
I'm
think
just curious. I was
she's
just thinking.
you know, a Black woman and who's intelligent and you know, successful and beautiful and accomplished and not only stands so well next to her husband and our powerhouse, but also stands really incredibly well on her own.
Yes.
So I mean,
Yes.
I really love the idea of this woman that can have this very, you know, successful marriage, but also be a very successful woman and a mother, and I mean everything.
I'm just
The
curious.
whole
I'm just
package.
curious. 'Cause,
No
you know,
doubt.
we need to make this throne out.
Yeah.
Well, and I think something that's going to also not only set the program apart as far as, you know, the content and the deliverables and how Desi and I are showing up, okay? We are intentionally making every move transparent.
Got it.
We want to be audited. We want to be transparent.
Yeah.
Okay. We want to show and demonstrate best practices when it comes to operations, business, etc. Obviously, I have more experience in some of those areas, you know, than Desi because she's at a different life cycle in her business.
Yeah.
Right. So when we're talking about this collaboration, it is still a joint venture, but she manages her own intellectual property. Okay, we're going to have an ironclad operating agreement. So at any time anybody wants to separate, they can take their basket and walk away.
Got it.
And it's not under an umbrella, at which point whoever's, you know, because at the end of the day, I mean, I have the capacity to strong arm, you know what I mean, if I want to.
Yeah.
So I want to, because a lot of clients that I represent too have gotten into awful business joint ventures, right? And when things go awry, it's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's terrible, right? And so we want to teach these best practices, this level of transparency, this level of honesty, right? Because if you're that good at what you do, there's no reason to be shady.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And so we are going to not only demonstrate this, you know, with the clients, right? But also on Instagram.
Yeah.
I mean, we show up very honest and vulnerable every single day. You know, I'll show you my bank accounts, my books, my tax returns. I'm gonna show you how I move. You know, she's doing the same.
Yeah, and in the same capacity, you know, I'm showing you what I eat 24/7. I'm showing you.
I see it all the time.
You know, I'm showing you how I take care of my body, what supplements I take, what I'm against. You know, my workout routines. How exactly it is that I achieve my wellness and health. I mean, even my mental and emotional health, what I do for that, you know, how often I see my therapist and how long I meditate for and what books I read. Because I didn't wake up like this. We didn't wake up like this. There's a lot of work behind it. And not only do we want to show and help you learn how to do the work, but and then some, you know, who can you help to do the work?
Got you.
Because, in a time where, you know, I mean, I don't want to get too political, but with the wool being pulled over our eyes left and right, it's happening because we're lazy and ignorant.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
She said we lazy and that's like it's sometimes just go out there and just like I said, teaching yourself self-knowledge and wanting to get better and wanting to go the next route. I mean, you guys are like constantly inspiring me, and I know people watching, people listening are going to be inspired by what you ladies are doing. And I want to say, even though you don't need to come from me, you guys are doing phenomenal on your own. And I can't wait to see this business take off because I already know it's going to take off because the energy you guys give off, your mindset on what you guys want to do. It's like, I know what I want. It's a clear path. Here it is. We know there's going to be some bumps. We know it's going to be, but like you said the key word, I'm transparent. And it's still about the grind. It's about, working through that grind. So first of all, I want to thank you guys for coming on the podcast, and I can't wait for you guys to start your guys' podcast and and bless these women out here. Not even just these women, these men too need it. Everybody need it.
Well, yeah,
I need it right now too.
If we help their girlfriends and their wives and their sisters and their aunts, and they're going to be happier men because they're going to have happier women in their lives. But I wanted to piggyback really quick on what Amber said about intention, and I just think that that's what's going to be so special about our program. Our programs is going to be that we do deliver with intention, and our really both of us share one of the same purpose in our lives, which is to help other people.
Got it.
All we want to do is have the opportunity to help people be the best versions of themselves they can be. And that's what we're hoping to do with this program, is that we just help women become amazing women and just be successful and happy and thriving. And, when that happens, then their children are happy and thriving and healthy, and their partners and their families, and it never ends. Their businesses and their employees and their associates, and it's just that's what can happen. So that's what we're hoping, and
it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yep.
So Amber, you got any final thoughts you want to say before we get out of here? Anything else you want to mention about the whole Women Empowerment 360? Or even just maybe a short tip before some of our listeners and some of our viewers out there, some short tips real quick about maybe how they can get better real quick.
Yeah, no, definitely. Just don't be intimidated. We all had to start somewhere. And I know that a lot of the information I share on my IG, isn't necessarily, 101, right? So you do need to build a little foundation, but just know that we're trying to create a very safe place to present, new information and new concepts. And again, it's super important. It's a make or break for you. So just be open-minded about it to receive the information. You're not going to understand it at first. It's complex. Yeah. It is.
There's levels.
But you keep doing it, keep getting better, right? Okay. And Desi and I, the way we operate, we do it to the best of our ability in a safe space with no judgment.
Yes.
I will keep explaining over and over and over again till you get it. I will bust out the highlighters. I will show you step 1, step 2, step 3, and I'll show you in 4 different ways and shoot a video. Because at the end of the day, when the light goes on, you are powerful. Yep. You're powerful.
Look at that. She believes that. I love it.
It is the truth.
The authority,
it is the truth.
The authority she brings in that is just amazing, man. So I appreciate you guys, like I said, once again, coming on the Come Up podcast. Des, Amber, you guys are just amazing people, man. I just want you guys to know that.
CJ.
And real quick, shout out, what's the Instagram? So people want to follow y'all, know what you guys are doing. Does 360 have an Instagram yet?
It does.
Okay.
It does have an Instagram. Oh my gosh, I don't have it with me.
It's okay, but I'll tag it in the video. I'll tag it in the video, and I'll put it in the notes, man, on YouTube and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yo, man, once again, thank you guys for coming on the Come Up. I appreciate you guys so much. And yo, guys, embrace that grind. Keep rolling. This is CJ. I've been the host with the most. We out of here.